The phone rang at 7:12 in the morning. Elena Souza was pouring tea and counting the last of her pills. She picked up with a soft hello. Her daughter's voice was loud, fast, and already crying. "Mom, please, it's an emergency. The clinic is asking for money right now. They won't treat Kieran unless we pay today. I tried my card and it failed. Please, Mom. Please." Elena sat down. Her knees felt weak the way a cupboard door feels loose. "How much?" she asked. Maya named a number that made Elena close her eyes. It was not small. It was the kind of number you use when trouble has been growing for many months, not just one night. Elena asked one more time in a careful tone. "Are you sure this is the exact amount?" Maya said yes and added, "If we don't pay, they will send him home. He can't breathe, Mom." Elena did not ask for a proof. She did not ask for a photo of a bill. She had raised Maya to trust family first and questions second. She opened her banking app with shaking fingers. The numbers on the screen were like birds that would fly away if she stared too hard. She made the transfer. It took a few tries because she typed slowly. When it went through, she felt an odd mix of peace and fear. She took a pen and wrote the amount on a small paper and slid it into a folder labeled receipts. Then she called back. "It's done, Beta," she said. "Is Kieran okay?" Maya said, "Yes, no, I mean they will see him now. Thank you. You saved us." The words were right, but the way they came out was wrong. They came out like a line from a play. Elena looked around her small kitchen. The blue paint on the cupboards was chipped at the edges. The clock ticked too loudly. She set her tea down and went out to the small back step to breathe. The morning air smelled like wet earth. She saw the plant by the door, the one her granddaughter Nora loved to water. The soil was soaked. Maybe the neighbor's cat had knocked it over. Elena pushed the pot back, straightened the doormat, and told herself she was being silly. People speak in strange ways when they are scared. When she came back inside, she opened a biscuit tin and took out a second, very plain phone. It was the one she used when she felt nervous. She checked the date, took a picture of her receipt, and sent it to the cloud like Mr. Aaron Rowe had taught her once, just in case. The day moved slowly. She folded laundry and tried not to think. Around noon, she called to ask how Kieran was. Maya did not answer. Elena tried again at 2. No answer. At 4:30, a message finally came. "He's resting. I'll call tomorrow." It was short, with no heart, no thank you, no picture of a wristband or a room. Elena placed the phone face down. She made soup for herself and ate half. The house felt too quiet, like a long hallway inside her chest. That evening, Nora called on video. "Grandma, my drawing won a star." She held up a paper with a bright yellow star drawn by her teacher. Elena smiled for real. "You are my star," she said. Behind Nora, Elena saw only a wall. She did not ask to see Maya. She did not want to push. She told Nora a short story and promised to visit the school fair next weekend. When the call ended, Elena kissed the screen and laughed at herself for kissing glass. The next morning it rained. Elena put on her sweater and took out the trash. The steps were shiny with water. She held the railing, but as she reached the bottom, the mat slid. Her foot slipped forward, and she sat hard on the last step. A sharp pain flashed in her hip. She breathed slowly, waited, tried to stand, and could not. The pain was like a hot hook. She looked around and saw the neighbor's boy biking by. "Arif," she called. He jumped off, dropped the bike, and ran to her. "Auntie, are you okay?" "Call your mother," Elena said. "And an ambulance, please." At the hospital, everything smelled like lemon and metal. A nurse asked questions. Elena answered each one, careful and polite. "Pain level. 6 when I sit, 8 when I stand." "Any dizziness?" "Only from the bill they will send," Elena said, and the nurse smiled. They took an X-ray and said it was a bad bruise, not a break. Elena thanked God in a whisper. They gave her a bed in a quiet corner and told her to rest until the doctor cleared her for home. Maya finally called in the afternoon. "Mom, I heard you fell. Why didn't you tell me?" Her voice sounded tight. Elena said, "I did not want to worry you when Kieran was unwell." "How is he?" Maya paused. "He's resting." The same word again. Resting. Elena looked at the ceiling tiles. She counted them like slow beads. "I see," she said. "When you can, send me a photo of the doctor's note. Not for doubt. For our records." "Of course," Maya said, and then too quickly. "Mom, which hospital are you at?" "I'll come." Elena told her the name. After the call, she watched the curtains sway in the air from the vent. She thought about bills and about how help should feel. Help should feel warm and solid. This help felt like a hole in the floor with a small rug on top. Still, she told herself not to judge too fast. Pain makes everyone clumsy. Even words can slip like feet on a wet step. An older volunteer came by with tea and a biscuit. Elena took the tea and thanked her. "You look worried," the woman said. "I slipped," Elena said. "And someone I love is slipping too." The woman nodded like she understood many kinds of slipping. "Drink your tea," she said. "You'll need your strength when you stand up." Evening came, and the sky outside turned the color of late plums. Elena dozed and woke and dozed again. She kept her cane beside her. It was smooth from years of use, with a ribbon tied near the handle so Nora would spot it in a crowd. Elena rubbed the ribbon and felt calmer. She checked that her small purse was closed, that her ID and cards were inside, that her phone was charged. She opened her folder app and took a picture of the hospital wristband for her records. It was a habit now. When she was afraid, she wrote, filed, and breathed. Footsteps moved in the corridor. Voices drifted in and out, a laugh, a cough, a cart squeak. Elena turned her head on the pillow and listened to the building's quiet heart. She thought about her house, the blue door, the window with the lace curtain, the smell of cardamom on Sundays. She thought about Nora's small shoes by the mat. The house was more than walls. It was a place where promises had lived for many years. Elena closed her eyes and whispered a short prayer. "Let me go home. Let the people I love choose kindness." She did not know yet what would be said outside her curtain, or how deep the bruise inside her heart would go. She only knew this. She had helped as a mother should, and she would stand up again, carefully, slowly, and with both hands on the truth. The ward was quiet except for the soft beeps and the wheels of a cart. Elena lay with her eyes half open, listening to the small sounds that tell you where you are. A curtain moved. A shoe squeaked. Someone coughed. She could smell hand gel and lemon floor cleaner. She touched the ribbon tied near the handle of her cane and felt calmer. The ribbon hit a tiny thing, warm from her fingers. It reminded her of being prepared. A young nurse pulled the curtain back with a smile. "Mrs. Souza, I'm Nurse Kate. Doctor says you can go home today if you have help at home." Elena nodded. "I can manage. I have rails. I have a neighbor who checks in." Nurse Kate glanced at the chart. "We will do discharge papers. Your daughter is on her way?" "Yes," Elena said. "Maya called. She is coming." Nurse Kate's smile softened. "Good. I'll be around." She slid the curtain and left. Elena reached for her small bag. She took out her phone and checked the folder where she kept copies of things that mattered. The receipt from yesterday's transfer sat there, neat and square. She took a photo of her wristband as well. Simple habits helped her breathe. Footsteps grew louder in the corridor. A quick step. A slow one. A whisper, held tight like a lid on a pot. Elena turned her head toward the light gap at the curtain edge. Maya's voice came first. Tired, rushed, too bright. "Hi. Are you the nurse? My mom is in bed 6. "Yes," said Nurse Kate. "I'm Kate. We're getting her ready to go home." There was a small silence, like a breath before a bad sentence. Maya filled it. "Could you transfer Mom to the cheap care home for a few weeks? Just to keep her safe. We need her house for now." Elena did not move. She did not sit up. Her hands went very still on the blanket. The words were simple. They were also a door opening to a long, dark hallway. A man's voice added itself, low and impatient. "Kieran, just do the paperwork. If we wait, she'll dig in. The realtor is ready. We already paid holding fees." Nurse Kate's tone changed. "Not rude. Just careful. Mrs. Souza is lucid and mobile with support. She says she has rails at home. We don't send people to homes unless needed or they ask." Maya spoke faster. "She forgets things. She falls. It's better if she is supervised. We can sign. I'm her daughter." Elena's heart pressed hard against her ribs. She looked at her cane. She let her mind become very clear, like still water. She slid her thumb over the ribbon again and took one slow breath. Nurse Kate said, "Do you have medical power of attorney papers here?" Another small silence. Kieran muttered, "We had some paperwork. Somewhere." Elena closed her eyes and saw a kitchen table from months ago. Kieran had brought forms. "Sign here, Ma," he had said too lightly. She had smiled and said she would show them to Mr. Aaron Rowe first. The forms had never come back. Outside the curtain, Maya lowered her voice, but sound carries when people lean in. "Look, we're drowning. She has a house just sitting. We need it. It's not like we're throwing her away. Just a cheap place for a while. Cheap place, Nurse Kate repeated, not like a question. Does your mother know this plan? Maya didn't answer. Kieran tried a different road. We'll take responsibility. Just tell us which forms to sign so she can be discharged there. We'll arrange a mover for her things. Elena thought of the blue door, of Nora's shoes by the mat, of the Sunday cardamom smell that lived in the curtains. She felt a pain in her hip and a sharper pain behind her eyes. She bit the inside of her cheek so she would not cry out and ruin her own plan. Nurse Kate said softly, I can't move a patient who is able to go home unless she agrees. Also, your mother asked to go home. There was a rustle, a sigh, the sound of someone checking their phone. Maya again. We'll convince her. We'll say it's just for a few days. She'll agree if you tell her. Nurse Kate's voice turned steady. I won't lie to a patient. Let me speak to her first. Steps moved toward the bed. Elena let go of the blanket and folded her hands, palms down. When the curtain slid open, she was already looking up. Mrs. Souza, Nurse Kate said, bright but gentle. Your daughter is here. Maya came in with a wide smile that did not reach her eyes. Her lipstick was perfect. Her hands were tight on her purse. Kieran stood behind her, looking past Elena at the window, the clock, the door, anywhere but her face. Mom, Maya said. Oh my God, you look pale. Poor thing. We were thinking, maybe a care place for a few days? Just until you're strong. Elena listened to her own voice before she spoke. It sounded calm. It sounded like the teacher she had been years ago. I want to go home, Maya. Home is cold and has stairs, Kieran said. Bad idea. Elena looked at Nurse Kate. Can I go home today? If you have support and can manage your steps, yes, Nurse Kate said. We'll also give you a walker for a week. Maya's eyes flashed. Mom, we already spoke to the nurse. They said it's safer. Nurse Kate shook her head once. We did not say that. A small red color moved up Maya's neck. She tried another smile. Okay, fine. Maybe just talk to the social worker? They can assess. Meanwhile, Mom, do you have your house keys with you? I can take them so I can open for the movers. Elena's fingers found the ribbon on her cane again. No movers, she said. Nothing leaves my house. Kieran rolled his eyes. We can't do this in public. Be reasonable. Elena turned her phone over in her palm. She opened a new message and typed without looking down, the way you type when your hands know an old tune. To Mr. Aaron Rowe. Please come to the hospital right now with our folder. Also ask Mr. Samuel Barnes to join as witness. Thank you. She pressed send. Then she opened the voice recorder and set it on the blanket, screen down. Not to trap anyone. To help her remember the exact shape of these minutes. Mom, Maya said, you gave us money yesterday, right? You know we're in trouble. We need to sell, just for one fresh start. We'll put you in a nice place later. Yesterday I helped with an emergency, Elena said. Today I am hurting. Tomorrow I will be home. I will not sell my house. Kieran leaned forward, elbows on his knees, speaking to the floor. We already promised someone. Elena met his eyes. Then you promised a thing that is not yours. Nurse Kate stood taller. I'm going to note this in the chart. Patient wants to go home. Family is pushing for care home. No POA shown. Maya let out a small laugh that had no humor in it. Why are you doing this, Mom? You're making me the bad one. I am asking to go home, Elena said. That does not make you anything. For a moment, everything stopped. Even the beeping seemed to step back. Maya's face softened, then hardened, like rain that turns to ice midair. Fine. But you can't stop what's coming. We already started. Elena thought of Nora's last video call. Of the bright yellow star on the paper. Of the promise she had made to herself when she put that ribbon on her cane. She slid her hand down the smooth wood and felt the small weight there. She sat up a little straighter. Kate, she said to the nurse, using her first name the way people do when they decide something. Could you please stay while we talk? I would like a witness. Of course, Nurse Kate said. Maya blinked. A witness? For what? For the truth, Elena said. The clock ticked. The door of the ward opened and closed. Down the hall, an elevator chimed. Somewhere a phone rang. Elena's own phone buzzed once on the blanket. A reply. On my way. Bring the papers. AR. Elena looked at her daughter and at the man who had married her. She looked at the nurse who had chosen to stand. She felt the bruise in her hip like a stone in the pocket of a coat. Heavy, but not bigger than the coat itself. She folded her hands again and spoke in an even tone. I will not fight, she said. I will only show what is already true. Maya opened her mouth to argue. The words did not come out. Kieran checked the door, as if measuring the distance to the exit. Nurse Kate wrote something on the chart with a calm, scratchy sound. Elena rested her palm on the cane and watched the doorway. In her mind, she straightened the blue doormat at home. She set a kettle on. She put 2 cups on the counter. She waited for the water to boil. And in the corridor outside, the soft echo of firm shoes began to draw near. The footsteps stopped outside the curtain. 2 soft knocks. Nurse Kate looked at Elena and then at the door. "Come in," she said. 2 men stepped inside. Dark suits. Calm faces. No rush. The first was tall with kind eyes and an old leather folder in his hand. The second carried a briefcase with a small silver seal. The room felt steadier just because they were careful with their voices. "Elena," the tall one said, warm and respectful. "It's Aaron Rowe. May we?" Elena nodded. "Please." She slid her hand along the cane and sat up a little straighter. Maya turned, surprised. Her smile flickered like a weak bulb. "Mr. Rowe, you didn't have to come." Kieran's mouth tightened. "Who's the other guy?" "This is Mr. Samuel Barnes," Mr. Rowe said. "He's the trustee from the bank." Nurse Kate stepped to the side but stayed close, pen ready. "I'm here as witness," she added, looking at Elena, not at the others. The air in the room felt thin but clean, like after rain. Elena let it fill her lungs. She looked at Maya. Then she spoke the words she had been saving, the ones that landed like a steady hammer on a loose board. "Try it," she said, quiet but clear. "But you'll need this key first." She lifted the cane. A narrow ribbon was tied near the handle, the color of Nora's school star. Elena pulled the ribbon and a tiny brass key slid into her palm. It flashed once in the hospital light. She did not wave it. She just held it so everyone could see that it existed. Maya stared. "What key?" "The spare to my safe deposit box," Elena said. "The box with the papers that say the house is not for you to sell." Kieran scoffed. "We don't care about your old papers. We just need signatures." Mr. Rowe opened his leather folder with hands that had done this for 40 years. He set 3 documents on the tray table, edges lined up. "These are not old papers, Mr. Matthews. These are the current filed and notarized documents." He pointed to the first page. Number 1, revocation of any prior power of attorney. There is no power of attorney active for Elena Souza. No one can sign for her. He pointed to the second. Number 2, a life estate deed. This says Elena has the right to live in her home for as long as she lives. No one can push her out. Not for a few weeks or to get organized. Not at all. He tapped the third. Number 3, the Souza Education Trust with Mr. Barnes as trustee. After Elena's lifetime, the house supports Nora Matthews' schooling. No sale or loan can happen without the trustee's signature. Not yours. Not mine. The bank's. Mr. Barnes clicked open his briefcase and took out a slim blue folder with a silver seal. He set a letter on top. "These are certified copies," he said. His voice was the sound of a door closing gently but firmly. "If you want to confirm, we can call the bank line on speaker. We will answer with the code. It is standard." Nurse Kate leaned in and read the headers, lips moving. She nodded once, the way nurses do when a number looks right. Maya's face went blank, a kind of shock that leaves nothing to hold. "Mom, why would you do this without telling me?" Elena kept her eyes on her daughter's eyes. "Because you brought forms to me once, and you smiled too hard when you said it was just insurance. Because I felt a hand on my back near a cliff. Because I love you and I love my home and I love Nora, and I wanted all 3 to be safe." Kieran tried a new angle. "We never planned anything bad. We just thought." Mr. Rowe took a small recorder from his pocket and placed it beside Elena's phone, which was already recording. "Last week you called a lender," he said gently. "You told them Elena was forgetful and asked how to put a lien on the house. You used your own number. This is the log. I requested the call from the lender's compliance team. They sent it this morning." He slid a printed transcript forward. "We don't have to fight, but we do have to be honest." Color drained from Kieran's face, slow as water leaving a glass. Maya reached for the bed rail. "I was scared," she said. "We're drowning. The cafe is closed. Rent is late. Nora needs new shoes. I thought if we sell quickly, we can fix it and bring Mom to a place with nurses. I wasn't trying to hurt her." Elena's chest ached at the sound of Nora's name in that sentence. She touched the ribbon in her palm and spoke carefully. "If you were not trying to hurt me, You should have told me the full truth. You should not have asked the nurse to send me away without my consent. You should not have called my home, just sitting. Nurse Kate wrote a short line on the chart. Her voice stayed calm. For the record, patient is oriented, understands choices, wants to go home. Family requests transfer to lower-cost facility for safety and sale of home. No authority shown. Witness present. Mr. Barnes folded his hands. Please also note, he said to Kate, that any attempt to move Ms. Souza against her will, or to sell or pledge the property may be treated as financial abuse of an elder under the law. Our bank will report if we see such activity. Maya's breath hitched. Don't say abuse. I'm her daughter. The word describes the action, not the title, Mr. Rowe said. His tone was not cruel. It was steady like a metronome. We can walk this back. But it starts with stopping. Silence settled. The beeping machine remembered to breathe for the room. Elena let her shoulders drop 1 inch. She placed the tiny key back against the cane handle and tied the ribbon again, small bow, neat ends. Her hands did not shake now. Kieran rubbed his forehead. So that's it? It's over? It can be over, Mr. Rowe said. Or it can become a case. Elena can choose. She has documents. She also has receipts of the money she sent yesterday. We will treat that as a loan unless Elena says otherwise. Maya looked at Elena, really looked, the way a child looks when they are lost and stubborn at the same time. Mom, please. We needed that money. I know, Elena said. I gave it. It is written down. It is safe in the file. What is not safe is me in a place I did not choose, so you can take my door key and call it love. Mr. Barnes closed the blue folder. Nurse, if you approve discharge, I can arrange a taxi voucher and a walker delivered to Miss Souza's home. I'll also add a note to the bank profile to flag any sudden attempts to change the title. Nurse Kate nodded. I approve discharge to home with supports. She looked at Elena. We'll do teaching for the walker, and I'll give you a number if you need a home visit. Maya's voice cracked. So you're all just locking me out? Elena shook her head. No, I'm locking out danger. You can come with Nora for tea. You cannot touch my house. Kieran opened his mouth. Closed it. He studied the door like it had answers. Mr. Rowe gathered the papers back into order and slid a copy of the trust letter to the edge of the tray. This copy is for you, Maya, he said. Read it at home. If you want help with debts, we can talk about a budget and a payment plan. But understand, the house is not a solution. Nora's future is. Maya took the paper like it might break. What does life estate mean? It means, Elena said softly, I live in my home for my whole life. No one can sell it. After I am gone, it belongs to Nora's schooling. That is the shape of it. For a long breath, no one said anything. The hospital clock ticked in a small, brave way. Somewhere down the hall, a baby cried and then quieted. Nurse Kate smiled at Elena, the kind of smile that is half pride and half relief. Shall we get you ready to go home? Yes, Elena said. She placed her palm on the cane on the ribbon, on the key she had chosen months ago when she first felt the cliff at her back. As the men in suits stepped aside, Maya whispered, almost to herself, I thought the house would save us. Elena looked at her daughter with eyes that had watched many storms. The house has saved me for many years, she said. Now it will save a child. Mr. Rowe met Elena's gaze and gave a small nod. The kind that says, the papers are real, the plan held, the ground under your feet is yours. The curtain moved. The world outside the bed waited. The discharge took most of the morning. Nurse Kate showed Elena how to stand with the walker, how to turn slowly, how to step down like she was testing new ice. She gave pain pills and a small card with a number to call if stairs felt scary. Breathe before you move, she said. Then move. Mr. Aaron Rowe waited by the nurse's station. He had a thin folder in his hand and a soft patience in his face. Mr. Samuel Barnes stood beside him like a steady post. Maya and Kieran kept near the wall, whispering to each other with tight mouths. We'll do this simply, Mr. Rowe said. Elena goes home. No talk of selling. No pressure. Communication by text only. Visits allowed with Nora present. Any money help will be for Nora through the trust, not to you directly. If the pressure starts again, we file. If not, we don't. He slid a one-page paper across a clipboard. The title was plain, Acknowledgement and Boundary Agreement. There were 3 lines to sign. This is not a trap, Mr. Rowe said. It is a boundary you can see. Maya's hands shook. She signed. Kieran stared at the floor, then signed in a hard, fast line. Mr. Barnes signed as witness. Nurse Kate signed too. Elena's name was already printed in neat letters at the top. She did not need to sign to live in her own home. They moved together to the elevator. The ride down was slow. Elena watched the numbers light one by one. In the quiet, she spoke without anger. Maya, I will make tea at 4. You can come with Nora. We will talk about school and shoes. We will not talk about my house. Maya nodded, eyes wet. Okay. Outside, the air felt new. The taxi driver helped with the walker. Nurse Kate tucked a paper bag of pills under Elena's arm. Call if you need a home nurse, she said. I mean it. Elena squeezed her hand. Thank you. At the blue door, the neighbor boy, Arif, ran up and held the gate open like a doorman at a grand hotel. Welcome home, Auntie, he said. Elena laughed and let that small word wash the hospital smell away. Inside, the house greeted her with quiet and light. She checked the rails, the rug, the kettle. She sat in her chair, placed the cane by her knee, and let the room tell her she was safe. Mr. Rowe and Mr. Barnes stayed for 15 minutes. They walked through the plan again. Mr. Barnes added a small but important thing. We flagged the title at the bank, he said. Any attempt to change it sends me an alert. What about yesterday's transfer? Elena asked. I logged it, Mr. Rowe said. It is a loan to be repaid in gentle steps, only if you want. You can also forgive it if you choose later. There is no rush to decide. He hesitated, then added, one more item. Our paralegal called the clinic billing desk this morning to confirm something for our file. They show no ER visit for Kieran Matthews yesterday. I'm not asking you to react now. I just want you to know the facts belong to you. Elena felt a coldness under her ribs, then a clean warmth right after, like when you open a window and bad air moves out. Thank you, she said. She did not look at the clock or at the door. She looked only at the folder, at the place where truth now lived on paper. After they left, Elena set the table with 3 cups and a small plate for biscuits. At 4, the bell rang. Nora ran in first, light on her feet, school bag bouncing. Grandma. She hugged Elena carefully, eyes checking the walker, hands soft on her arm. Do you hurt? I do, Elena said. But less when you are here. Maya came in slower, eyes tired. Kieran stood at the edge of the kitchen like a man visiting a museum, touching nothing. Elena poured tea. No one spoke for a minute. The steam rose like a small prayer. I'm sorry, Maya said finally, the words coming out raw. I was scared and I did wrong. I am still scared. I know, Elena said. Fear turns people into fast liars. Truth turns them back. Kieran cleared his throat. The cafe closed. We owe suppliers. I thought. He stopped because there was no clean way to finish the thought. I thought your house could reset everything. Elena nodded. It could not. It would only break more. She reached for her cane and untied the ribbon slowly. The tiny brass key slid into her palm. Nora's eyes went wide. Maya's breath caught. Is that the bank key? Maya asked. It is the spare, Elena said. But listen. It is not for you too. It is for Nora. Not today. Not for a sale. For books. For later. She took a small white envelope from the folder. On it, in careful letters, was written, for Nora, on her 18th birthday. Elena put the tiny key inside, sealed it, and wrote today's date on the flap. Then she gave the envelope to Mr. Rowe, who had come back and was standing quietly in the doorway, as if he had always belonged to kitchens and cups like this. Please keep this with the trust papers, Elena said. Give it to Nora when the time comes. Mr. Rowe nodded. I will. Nora looked between the grown-ups. Grandma, will I open a treasure? You will open directions, Elena said, smiling. Better than treasure. They tell you how to build your own. They ate biscuits. They talked about the school fair, about a science project, about a song Nora was learning. When the plates were empty, Elena put the boundary on the table like a 4th cup. Maya, here is the plan. Mr. Rowe will connect you to a debt counselor. You and Kieran will meet once a week for 3 months. For every amount you pay on your own debts, the trust will match a small part into Nora's school fund. If there is any talk again about my house, the match stops and the file opens. Maya's mouth trembled. You would still help me? I will help Nora, Elena said. And I will help you be her mother with a clear head. Kieran stared at his hands. And if I don't go to counseling? Then the match stops, Elena said. And I file the call transcript and the hospital request. I will not hate you. I will simply stop giving you new ways to hurt me. The room held the sentence without shaking. It stood up by itself. Maya wiped her eyes. I will go. Kieran nodded once, slow. Me too. After they left, Nora stayed to stack cups. She looked serious, like a tiny librarian. "Grandma," she whispered, "is a house a person?" Elena laughed softly. "No, little star. A house is a skin around the people. It keeps them warm. It remembers their stories. It does not walk. We do." Nora leaned her head on Elena's arm. "I will write my stories here," she said. "Good," Elena said. "We will put them on the fridge." Night came early. The pain in Elena's hip hummed, but did not bite. She took her pill and wrote a short note in her folder. Home. T. Agreement signed. Nora laughed. She closed the folder and set it in the same drawer where she kept the spare light bulbs and the old birthday candles. Her phone buzzed. A message from Mr. Rowe. Counselor booked Tuesday for PM. I also found a buyer for the cafe equipment. Funds go to suppliers. Cleaner ledger equals cleaner mind. Sleep well. AR. Elena smiled and turned off the lamp. In the dark, the house felt awake in a good way. Pipes whispered. The fridge clicked. Somewhere a scooter passed. She could hear the world, and the world could hear her. Just before sleep, she lifted her cane and retied the ribbon in a neat bow. It looked like a small flag. Not a warning. A promise. She thought of the toast she would make when Nora's next report card came, and she smiled at the line forming in her mind. To the key that opened nothing made of wood, and everything made of hope.